Welcome everybody to another World of Tanks replay. My name is Maxwell and this one is from the user Captain Kremen. And he's driving the Pershing on a standard battle on the Serene Coast. Pershing obviously tier 8 medium tank for the Americans. Quite a nice medium tank as well. Does see quite a bit of play and quite a bit of favour. It's nicely manoeuvrable. The thing about it is it has a nice strong turret, decent gun, and a good hit point pool as well. It's actually not far off the amount of hit points that a tier 8 heavy would have. You look at something like the IS-3 with 1500 hit points, so it's pretty much up there. Obviously nowhere near as good as the STA-1 with 1450, but a lot better than the T-54 Mod 1 as well. Anyway, I've rambled enough about hit points for this video so far. Kremen and his 3 platoon mates going to head all the way over to this left-hand flank. Call it left-hand flank because it's easiest to go by the map, not on what direction you're facing. Because if you are facing in a different direction to somebody that you're communicating with, orders and communications could get confused. So if you always just go on the direction of the map, nobody can get confused. Anyway, I've rambled enough about the map as well. Not really spotting anybody out over here. There's quite a few allied tanks heading this direction. They've got a 112 and a couple of Furies in the back there. And a Ferdinand taking up a normal position. Looks like the STA-1's already been hit by artillery. So you're going to have to play it careful. There isn't much cover on this side to get yourself artillery safe. It's quite an open map. So the guys in the medium tanks are going to have to keep moving. Not really spotting anybody out. Does find a Chaffee. I'm going to try and get a shot on him, but it looks like he's just behind cover. Looks like all of the medium tanks here trying to get something on him. A Jackson pulls into view. Kremen has a shot. Gets a 0 damage critical. And I was just talking about this on the live stream the other day, that this World of Tanks is unique among games, that it is one of the only games where you dread to hear the words critical hit. Normally a critical hit means you've landed with extra success and done extra damage or whatnot, but nope, not on this. It means you've done 0 damage and either screwed up someone's gun, someone's turret traverse, or just knocked their track off. So, yeah, bit weird on World of Tanks' part there. Has a shot at the Chaffee. That one definitely didn't do a 0 damage critical. He smacks him straight in the face for 280 damage. Chaffee going to continue trying to find somebody, but what a beautiful predictive shot there by Captain Kremen. Wasn't able to see him as he'd faded away into stealth, but he knew that he was coming around the side of that building and that he would be heading in that direction, so he has his shot and is rewarded with the kill. So excellent, excellent shooting there from Captain Kremen. Facing off against the Centurion here, pops that one right through the top of his turret. And as you can see, the battle's a little bit of a stalemate on this left-hand flank, but on the far right-hand side, the Allies are getting surrounded now, squaring off against a few tanks from the front. There's a Cromwell being an IS coming in from the rear, and that's just thanks to the fact that nobody was stationed in the centre. And that was spotted out by the fact that the Chaffee made that brave run early on. It allowed the enemy team to see that there was nobody really covering that centre, which allowed the Cromwell and the IS to slip through unimpeded. And they've now managed to get in and are wreaking havoc against the allied tanks there. You can see the medium tank platoon are going to be heading over to try and help out, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be too late, which means they're not really going to catch many people off guard. Everybody will have been able to spin around and get into defensive positions and get themselves ready. Captain Kremen a little bit slow to the party, but he is at least coming from a slightly different angle, so he might catch some people off guard. Does find an IS, lets his gun close in just far enough and gets the kill. Now he's looking to try and get something on this Cromwell B. Just playing a little bit of peekaboo behind the building as he doesn't want to get shot at this point. Although he hasn't taken any damage yet, doesn't want to lose that perfect record. Does just ricochet that one on the Cromwell. They're still fighting determinedly with the platooned medium tanks on the right-hand side. T-54 does fall. Captain Kremen uses this moment to advance forwards. Going to try and maybe take out this IS-6, and that was a beautiful snapshot on the move. He had a little bit of damage on this IS-6, and now he's just going to have to push this guy down. He's got to get him off the ridge. If he can push him all the way back where his allies can shoot, that would be the best thing, but as it is, he's just able to come in and finish him off himself. Does take a hit now from the Cromwell B as he backs off. Going to try and get this Comet. That's a beautiful tracking shot with the Comet's gun in the air, but he just uses his repair kit. to repair that track and get the hell out of there, because like I said, he was tracked in a position where his gun was pointed high up in the sky, so he was not going to be able to return damage. Captain Kremen doing a fantastic job of using his reloads to his advantage here, and I think the Comet's just decided that he doesn't want any part of this. He is after the STA-1 and did indeed get him. Captain Kremen says, well, you're not getting away with that for free, and takes him out for kill number 4. And the left-hand flank that was looking so peachy earlier has now fallen to the enemy team. There's just himself, an ELC, and a Ferdinand left. Taking some artillery fire. Got to try and find this Cromwell B, but he is so fast he's almost certainly relocated by now. I'm going to just take a moment to have a breather, get up onto the hill here, survey the area, and then try and decide which direction to go to. Decides he's going to come across and try and keep the Ferdinand alive when it's just down to 2 guys versus 5. It's a good idea to at least cover each other, because the more tanks you have left alive at the end, the better chances you've got of winning. Even if the Ferdinand's not really going to contribute anything to the fight, he is another target for the enemy team to fire at, while Captain Kremen tries to do his business. Just having a quick look to the right in case the Cromwell B's hiding there. Looks like he's not. He's loaded the APCR for the historically accurate IS-3 armor. Now the model has been fixed, but finds a T-29 instead. Gets a great shot through his side armor. It looks like the T-29 has stopped and is focusing in on the area. He missed. A little bit unlucky just to take his track out for the next one. Now just going to wait for that reload to take him out. That's kill number 5. The Ferdinand still fighting against this IS-3. Just having a quick look to the rear in case again that Cromwell B is sneaking up on him from the rear. Looks like he is not. The Ferdinand falls to the oppressive fire of the IS-3, which is not surprising, to be honest. How much health did that IS-3 have? He had just under 1,000 hit points left, and like I said, with that historically fixed model, he's going to be very difficult to damage. Gets a great shot on the Cromwell and tries to go for a ram to do a little bit extra damage. He is just outmaneuvering the Cromwell at the moment. He runs, but he doesn't run far enough, and Kremen takes him out for a Top Gun medal. That's 3,000 points of damage he's done so far, which at tier 8 would be a good game anyway. But he's not done yet. He's going to cover the cap circle. Gets a great shot on that T-150. The only slight word of criticism I would have against Captain Kremen here is he's not focusing on the IS-3 with that APCR, wasting shots of APCR as he is on the T-29, on the T-150 and on the Cromwell B. With only 6 shells left of APCR, it might come to something when he's unable to hurt this IS-3. T-150 fully in the cap circle there. Russian Sovietanium armor just turning aside that APCR shell. Kremen going to take a little bit more time with his shot this time. Puts that one through his track, using the corpse of that fallen tank there to try and deter the IS-3 from being able to get a damaging shot. And as you can see, still using APCR on this T-150 when it's not really required. And it's not really going to leave him enough APCR for the tank that it is required for, which is the IS-3. But nevertheless, gets the kill on the T-150, and the IS-3 starts to move forward. Got 2 shells left. This should be able to easily penetrate the piked nose of the IS-3, as you saw there. Not really wanting to advance on him because he is so far away. Second shot also flies straight through, but now he's back down to AP ammunition. If we have a look at the penetration value of that, it is only 180. That was a great shot to penetrate the armor of the IS-3. Thinking about making a move, and decides that he's best off where he is at the moment. IS-3 just defiantly sitting in the cap circle. Captain Kremen is taking some damage. Thinks he can take him out. Not sure he has the alpha damage to be able to do it in a single shot. And indeed, even if he did have the alpha damage, it looks like this IS-3 is just stubbornly refusing to take any damage. He's angled his armor, which is interesting, because really he should just face square on with that pike front. But Captain Kremen's still unable to do any damage. Now the IS-3's fired. He decides that now is the time to do or die. He's going to charge in. Has 1 shot while he is in a charging position. Now he's going to get alongside him. Only takes out his track. Now he's just going to put 1 last shell through his rear, and that should be the kill. Kill number 8, Radley Walters medal, and that just leaves the GW Tiger P to take out for the win. Now what you saw while he was charging the IS-3 there is he turned ever so slightly to his left-hand side, and what that meant was that the piked front plate of the IS-3 was in a more flat-on position, which meant that as he fired as he came in, he had a much higher chance of penetrating that front. If he'd continued running to the right-hand side, which is the direction that he eventually turned to get around the side of the IS-3, there's a lot less chance that he would have penetrated that front pike of the IS-3. But like I said, because he cut to his left, he flattened that armor out and was able to put a shot straight through, and then that just left the IS-3 with very few hit points for just one more shot through the rear to take him out. So we're just going to speed this one up a little bit until we get back into the action. As you can imagine, Captain Kremen just going to go for a little patrol around the battlefield to try and find the GW Tiger P. He's got just under 4 minutes on the clock, so it's not like he is short on time. He's going to have a look at the normal spawning locations for the artillery. Sees that he can't find him in any of them, so decides to do what a sensible tanker would do with 3 minutes on the clock, and that is to park himself in the capture circle. And that is either going to gift him the victory by way of base capture, or at the best case scenario, it's going to draw the GW Tiger P out. He's going to be able to take him out for the win. Does have to be very, very careful though, because with only 140 hit points, even if the GW Tiger P misses his shot and it lands next to him or on a mountainside next to the Pershing, the burst damage and the splash damage will be more than enough to eliminate him. Even if it explodes on the gun mantlet or something, or hits something for, like the gun, which would normally do 0 damage, the splash of the shell will be enough to take him out. Does find the Tiger P. He's coming around the south of the cap circle. Kremen backs out of the cap circle, but it did put the mountain between himself and the GW Tiger P. GW Tiger P fired, and it was a terrible, terrible shot. I know the artillery doesn't have great accuracy, but he fired well after Captain Kremen was in cover, and there's going to be nothing he can do here. He's going to get himself taken out. That is the win. That is 9 kills and the victory. So awesome replay there from Captain Kremen, picking himself up almost 5,500 points of damage, 9 kills, and walking away with a well-deserved victory. So thank you very much for sending that replay in. Don't forget, guys, if you've got yourself a great replay, send that into replay@screenreality.com. Link for that's in the description. I've been Maxwell. This has been a World of Tanks replay, and I'll catch you guys next time.
La